What's up, Nerd Nation? We are back in the apocalypse, and you know we had to talk about The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 1. New characters, brutal moments, and trauma. Oh yeah, it's peak HBO. If you're as hyped or emotionally wrecked as we are, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our weekly breakdowns. Let's talk spores, feels, and fireflies. The world of The Last of Us does not offer new beginnings. It does not offer neat resolutions or warm welcomes. It offers memory, consequence, and a quiet kind of devastation that accumulates with every choice its characters make. Season 2, Episode 1 returns with that truth intact. Nothing is repaired. Nothing is forgotten. The first episode of this new chapter is a study in restraint. It lingers in the aftermath of survival and sets the tone for what promises to be an emotionally difficult season. Rather than rely on action or grand events, the episode builds itself around mood. It reintroduces us to Ellie and Joel, not as protagonists, but as people who have lived with their secrets long enough to start fraying under their weight. The result is a quiet episode, but not a slow one. It carries the same intensity as the most violent moments of the previous season, even though there is almost no violence at all. A different kind of return. The episode begins without urgency. Ellie walks alone along the edge of a frozen lake. The snow beneath her boots is undisturbed. The town of Jackson functions in the background with a sense of order that feels foreign compared to the world we remember. Children run past her. People greet each other. There are small signs of normal life, but Ellie remains detached from all of it. She is present, but not fully there. That feeling permeates the entire episode. Jackson itself has not changed much, but Ellie has. She is quieter, harder. The sarcasm that once softened her has dried up. Her gaze holds more calculation now. There are moments where she watches people in the town, as if she is unsure whether to envy them or fear them. Her interactions are brief. Her smiles are limited to polite nods. It is clear that time has passed, but no healing has taken place. Joel, on the other hand, is trying to move forward. He visits the stables, talks to Tommy, and offers to fix a guitar for Ellie. He tells her stories about his past, about old music, about repairs he made around the town. These moments seem almost peaceful until you notice how much effort Joel is putting into being peaceful. His calm feels rehearsed, and Ellie seems aware of it. Their conversations are careful. Ellie listens, responds, but never pushes. Joel talks, but avoids any mention of what happened at the Firefly Hospital. The unspoken truth sits between them like a third presence, never addressed but always near. New characters, old questions. The episode also introduces a new group of characters traveling through the snowy wilderness outside Jackson. Among them is Abby. She is not introduced with fanfare or menace. She appears in a quiet scene, trying to start a fire with gloved hands. She speaks little. Her tone is cautious. Her movements are deliberate. Those unfamiliar with the game may not understand her significance right away, but the episode plants enough seeds to make her presence feel important. Abby's group includes a few others. They share supplies, exchange short conversations, and study maps that hint at their destination. The group dynamic is tense but controlled. It is clear they are not simply survivors. They are planning something. The episode does not give away much about Abby's intentions. It does not even place her in direct contact with Joel or Ellie. But her scenes carry a sense of purpose. She watches the terrain closely. She notes changes in the snow. She asks about patrol routes. Every movement suggests that she is looking for someone or something. This careful introduction serves two purposes. For players of the game, it is a reminder that Abby's story is about to begin. For newcomers, it is a slow build toward a confrontation they do not yet see coming. The show's decision to introduce her not with violence but with silence is a sign of how much care it is taking to let each character speak through presence rather than plot. The distance between them. Ellie and Joel remain the emotional core of the show, and their dynamic has changed in subtle, painful ways. There is a shared routine now. They eat together, talk about minor tasks, and walk through the town side by side. But there is no ease between them. One of the strongest scenes of the episode takes place in the old community center. Joel shows Ellie the guitar he is working on. He talks about music. She listens without reacting. When he asks if she wants to try playing it, she says she is tired and leaves. He stays behind, looking at the guitar as if it might answer the questions Ellie refuses to ask him. This scene mirrors several moments from season 1, but the energy is different now. The joy is gone. What remains is effort without connection. Later, they attend a community dinner hosted by Maria. The hall is full. People are smiling. Joel tries to join the conversation. Ellie remains quiet. She watches Joel closely, almost studying him. He avoids her gaze. When Tommy brings up old stories from their past, Joel laughs a little too loudly. Ellie excuses herself early. She walks out into the snow, leaving her plate untouched. The silence of violence. In most post-apocalyptic stories, tension builds toward confrontation. Here, the confrontation has already happened. What builds in this episode is emotional pressure. The silence between Ellie and Joel, the unspoken purpose of Abby's group, and the normality of Jackson all begin to feel unsustainable. There is one brief encounter with danger. Ellie explores an abandoned building alone. She finds a clicker trapped beneath a collapsed beam. It is unable to move. She studies it for a long moment. The creature groans. She kneels beside it. Her face is calm. Then, without hesitation, she kills it with a single thrust. There is no music, no drama, just a sound, and then silence. The way the show handles this moment says everything about where Ellie is emotionally. This is not an act of defense. It is not fear. It is something colder. The clicker is a reminder of her past, and she ends it with the ease of someone who no longer sees the infected as the true threat. The rest of the episode avoids action. Instead, it stays focused on conversation, on eyes that avoid meeting, on hands that tremble only when no one is looking. The violence of this episode lives in memory. A world that will not let go. What makes this return episode so strong is not what it shows, but what it holds back. The performances are understated. The direction is calm. Even the music is quiet. Gustavo Santaolall's score appears only in the final scenes. It enters gently as Ellie walks home alone. She pauses by the lake from the opening scene. The snow is falling harder now. She looks out at the water, then up at the sky. Behind her, the faint sound of Joel calling her name. She does not answer. She keeps walking. In that walk is everything unsaid, everything she suspects, everything she will soon have to confront. Looking ahead. As an opening episode, this one sets the tone with a kind of quiet precision that few shows attempt. It does not begin with spectacle or explanation. It does not try to impress. Instead, it chooses restraint. It chooses to wait. It lets the silence arrive first. We are given no answers, not even clear questions, but there is a foundation beneath every scene. Something subtle is shifting, something slow and deliberate. What we see now will matter more later. The episode trusts us to feel that without needing to name it. Ellie has changed. It is not in the way she speaks or dresses. It is in her quiet, in her stillness. Her defiance has gone quiet. Her reactions are delayed. She watches more than she speaks. The edge in her personality remains, but it has lost its warmth. There is a hardness in her now that feels settled, not sharp, just constant. Joel is different too. There is more effort in him now. He is trying to be present, trying to connect. His voice is softer, his stories are longer. He brings Ellie a guitar, he shares memories. But behind every gesture is something uncertain, a kind of reaching. He wants things to return to what they were, but what they were is gone. Their bond was once built in pain, built in fire and blood and silence. It was tested by loss and made stronger through survival. But now it faces a different kind of test. Not from the world outside, from the distance growing between them. Joel's protection came with a price, and Ellie is beginning to understand how high that price was. What they carry now is not just memory, it is consequence, and they are not carrying it together. Then there is Abby. She does not arrive with tension. She does not even arrive with noise. She appears in the cold, lighting a fire, checking her surroundings, sharing glances with the others in her group. But there is something about her that holds attention. She is not searching. She is tracking. She knows what she wants. She does not need to say it. What the episode does well is hold the moment. It does not rush toward the collision. It lets us sit in this uncertain space for a little while longer. There is snow on the ground. People go about their day. Horses are fed. Firewood is carried. But we know it will not last. Peace is not a permanent condition in this world, and the characters know it too. There is a beauty in the pacing. It mirrors the way grief actually feels. It waits. It surrounds you slowly. The show understands that. It knows that pain often comes quietly, through a look, through a missed conversation, through the feeling that something is no longer there, even when the person still is. Jackson may offer shelter, but the people inside it are not safe. Not from the past, not from each other. Ellie and Joel are still haunted, not by monsters, but by silence, by memory, by what was done and what will have to be done. So as we look ahead, there is no sense of resolution. There is only momentum. Slow, steady, inevitable. The story is moving. We can feel it under the surface. We can feel it in every pause between Joel and Ellie, in every quiet stare, in Abby's measured footsteps through the forest. It is not moving toward comfort. It is moving toward something honest, and that is exactly where The Last of Us wants us to be. That's our full breakdown of The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 1. And yeah, it already hurts. But what did you think? Drop your reactions, theories, and hot takes in the comments. Want more nerdy breakdowns and brutally honest reviews? Follow us on social media and check out the audio version of the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Links down below. Until next time, keep it nerdy and try not to get bit.